Good afternoon and welcome into our First Alert Fastcast. My name is Brittany Schmidt. I'll be taking you through some of the stories that we're working on today. I hope you had a really good weekend and got outside a little bit because it wasn't as cold. The temperature is kind of around the freezing mark, but we'll check in with Keith Gibson in just a little bit. But first, I want to bring you some of the stories that we're working on. We're following a trial that begins in Door County today.
Criminal convictions, again, all these counts are charged with the penalty.
The trial started today for the man accused of starting a fire in 2022 that killed 2 people and burned down a bar in Door County. Anthony Gonzalez faces 7 charges, including 2 counts of second-degree reckless homicide and 5 counts of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. He could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted. Today it started with jury selection, which took a good chunk of the day. It took hours of questioning from both sides to get down to 14 jurors. 2 of those will be alternates. 7 men and 7 women will hear the case. Once they got through jury selection, the court would go right into opening statements, both sides laying out their arguments in this case. Emily Byer on this story for us today. 2 weeks have been set aside for this trial, but the judge says they could finish this week or early next week. Again, opening statements underway this afternoon. Emily Byer will have more on this later on tonight. Here's a First Alert update now for the former owner of Annie's Campground in Shawano County. She is sentenced to jail and has been fined for a police pursuit in Menominee and Shawano counties back in 2021. Ann Retzloff pleaded no contest to some of the charges she faced, which included second-degree recklessly endangering safety and fleeing, eluding an officer. The judge sentenced her to 1 year in jail, and she gets credit for that time already served. Retzloff was also fined more than $1,700. Now to a breaking news story that we are following out of the Chippewa Falls area. Here we can see that HSHS Purveya Health is permanently closing hospitals clinic in the western portion of Wisconsin. So that includes, here I'm showing on our website, let me just there we go. Let me just pull up our website here so you can kind of follow along as I read this. This is breaking news this afternoon. So the hospitals that are going to be closing in the western half of the state are Sacred Heart Hospital in Eau Claire and St. Joseph's Hospital in Chippewa Falls. They're expected to close on or before April 21st. Many of the Purveya facilities will also close by then, though residency clinics could stay open as late as June 30th. This decision will affect about 1,080 people working for HSHS and 325 working for Purveya, the health organization said, including physicians. Now, just a quick reminder, this decision does not impact any HSHS or Purveya health facilities in eastern Wisconsin, in our area, and the organization really wanted to emphasize that today. Hospitals and clinics and other facilities outside of the Chippewa Valley will continue operations as normal. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. The decision does not impact any HSHS hospitals or Purveya health facilities in eastern Wisconsin in our neck of the woods. One quick other note that I want to bring you, we got this afternoon, is that President Joe Biden will be visiting the state. He's going to be in Superior on Thursday. So I just want to make you aware of that. But now let's take a look outside, talking about those temperatures. Let's take a look outside at here. I found the sun. I went through all of our cameras and I found the sun peeking out here in Green Bay. Let's now bring in meteorologist. Here we go. There you are. Hi, Keith.
Hey, Brittany, what's up?
Not too much. I want to tell you my heat is fixed in my car just in time for those temperatures to be around that freezing mark.
That's just the way it works, right?
I know, right?
But maybe the fact that it got really cold is why the heat broke and forced you to get it fixed, and now we're on the up and up, right? So it's just
I'll take it.
You know, it's just the way life works. But
Truly.
yeah, things are much improved this afternoon. We were advertising highs today getting back to around freezing, and as we were talking about, they are right around freezing right now across a good chunk of northeastern Wisconsin. We have seen a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. than originally anticipated, but that's always a positive. But low 30s across the region here. I do want to tell you that clouds will be increasing later on this evening and tonight, and it is currently quiet as we check out First Alert Viper Max, but there's a big slug of moisture down from central Illinois, goes all the way down into Texas. That will be lifting our way later on tonight into our Tuesday. Now, most of what you see here is going to be missing our area, but we are going to be on the northern fringe of some wintry weather. No official winter weather advisories or anything yet for northeastern Wisconsin, our coverage area, Brittany, but for areas just south of Fond du Lac through southeastern Wisconsin into Illinois, there's a winter weather advisory out for later tonight and Tuesday. This goes all the way down into the Chicago area.
Ooh.
Icy travel likely down there later on tonight, tomorrow morning, more so than around here. So just a first alert for anybody going down to the south later tonight into our Tuesday. From Milwaukee south, could be a little bit dicey. But even in our area, I do want to show you this real quick, that we do have a chance for some wintry weather, even though temperatures have really warmed up, and we will stay warm all week long. But as we go into tomorrow morning, I want to show you here with predictor here, this is 7 o'clock. So we're thinking that there could be a little bit of slushy snow or wintry mix somewhere from, let's say, Oshkosh, Manitowoc, and south. This is nudged to the north just a little bit with the latest run of predictor. I don't think it's going to get to Green Bay. It's probably not going to get to Appleton or the Fox Cities, but it has nudged up towards Oshkosh and Manitowoc here. So this is where there could be some slushy snow accumulation tomorrow morning. And elsewhere, where we don't have the snow, there could be a little bit of light freezing drizzle around here. So it's not going to be a major event, Brittany, for tomorrow. You can see the snowfall projections here,
really low.
a coating to maybe an inch or two, worst case scenario down across the south. But any slushy snow accumulation on the roads or any light freezing drizzle around could cause some issues, especially for the first part of the day. Afternoon highs tomorrow will be back into the low and mid 30s here for the next 3 days. Will be pretty mild. So we don't really envision a major problem for our Tuesday with this wintry weather chance that will still be around the region. Bigger problems likely to our south, and there could be some significant icing down towards northern Illinois tomorrow, and that's where I think some of the worst travel in the region is going to be. But just a heads up here, for us the next couple of days, we will stay in the 30s, and we had some really cold air last week, Brittany, but a lot of sunshine. This week, the opposite, mild but more cloud cover, and a chance for some wintry weather, some rain later on this week. We'll have the system tonight, tomorrow, and also another one for Wednesday and the Thursday. But by and large, widespread crippling winter weather is unlikely for most of our area here, but some of us could see a little bit of snow from time to time this week. And, nothing we can't handle here.
Right.
And, it's just going to be a lot of melting, especially thawing out those roads, which is a big deal. It's been pretty dicey around here with compacted snow and ice on those roads. But now that we're moderating things, things will be melting quickly off the roads. And the snowpack, I should say, is going to be compressing and shrinking too.
Right, and luckily with these temperatures, it looks like whatever they use on the roads, like the salt, will work in these temps too, which is good because, my road is still ice covered for sure.
Yeah, and like I should mention, like our highs will be above freezing really for the next 7 days, and even our overnight lows will be in the upper 20s to around 30 or into the low 30s for the rest of the week too. So it's going to be mild even at night.
Awesome. All right. Good news. Thanks, Keith.
Yep. See you at 4.
All right. See you at 4. All right. Some of the other stories that we're working on today. Let me pull those up for you. So at 4 o'clock, the Fox Valley Humane Association is asking for your help after rescuing more than 20 dogs from a hoarding situation in Calumet County. Crews rescued the dogs last Tuesday at a home in Chilton. They're now being evaluated for multiple health concerns. It costs about $1,000 per dog to get them to a point where they can be adopted, so they're asking the community for help in donations. Samantha Cavalli on this story for us today. Tonight at 4:30, we sit down. Chris Roth joins us. We're kind of switching our roles here. I'm anchoring at 4:30, and Chris Roth will be there as our sports director. Just a wrap on the Green Bay's Packers season. The team, we saw gave the 49ers all they could handle on Saturday night. A few late miscues gave San Fran the advantage. But for many of us, the Packers went above and beyond expectations. We're just happy that they were in the playoff, and you can't forget that game against the Dallas Cowboys. So the Packers are a young team that turned out, a lot of heads in the late season. So he talks a little bit about what happened today. The offseason officially starts and what could be coming down the line here in the future as we await to see kind of what happens. At 5 o'clock, Representative Gallagher introduces legislation to save sturgeon spearing in Wisconsin. Congressman Gallagher talks a little bit about the concern at issue, the sturgeon possibly being listed on the endangered species list, meaning spearing would have limitations, possibly even prohibited. So Congressman Gallagher is voicing his concern about how it is a vital tradition here in our area. It would threaten the management we already have in place here, the conservation we have in place. Could there be an exemption? Possibly, but Jason Zimmerman looking in on this one for us tonight. The annual sturgeon spearing season here brings in millions a year. So a closer look at that, and then tonight at 6, Holly Brantley is going to the state of sturgeon spearing. That meeting is happening tonight at Stockbridge High School from 7 to 8 p.m. She'll be there and kind of go over the numbers and what we can expect. And again, looking over the possibility of them being put on the endangered species list and what that would look like, and if there are exemptions that could be made there. But that does it for all the stories that we're kind of following. Obviously, much more in our afternoon newscast at 4, 5, 6, and 10. But as for right now, that's what we're kind of working on midday. We'll see you tonight on Action 2 News at 4. Have a good one.